DC Motor Works. Today we've got with us a C55 AMG. So this was introduced at the late production run of the 203 chassis C-Class. There's only 1,750 of these cars, so they are pretty tough to come by. You'll see a neat little tidbit about these is to fit the V8 in the C-Class, they had to extend the front end. So this is actually the fenders, bumper, headlights, and everything from a CLK or a 209 chassis. But this one came in from one of our clients, had a complaint of a no start, and trying to save him some money here. He actually did a starter himself, but that didn't fix the issue, so he brought it here for us to look at, and we're going to show you what we found. So let's get started. So our first step here was to hook up our SDS. This is the Star Diagnostic System. So this is a Mercedes-Benz dealer level scan tool that we hooked to the car. We ran what's called a quick test, which communicates with all the modules in the car and checks all the codes and gives you a full rundown electronically of the car. What we found is there was no communication with the ME, or motor electronics, which is the engine computer for these. So we started tracing that with wiring diagrams, and the power is fed from this front fuse box here. We could see there were some loose screws here, one's missing there. You can see someone's been in here messing around. If you check, there's a little 5 amp fuse you can see right there. That's the fuse to power your ME, but it actually powers through a relay. And that is this relay here, has the designation of relay R. So Mercedes-Benz has designations for all the different parts in the car. So you have the designation for the front SAM, which is the signal acquisition module relay box. And what we found is that fuse was good and it feeds the relay here, but the relay was actually in this location, which is not used on this vehicle. So the client went through all the trouble of replacing the starter, which we'll show you here in just a moment. It is not a 10-minute task on this vehicle, but all I did was move the relay over to its correct location. We could hear the ME power up and the engine fired right up. And that led us to our next problem. We shut the engine right off as it didn't sound right. You'll see here, this is one of those lovely no dipstick cars. All you get is this little cover on the dipstick tube, but we do have a special tool. You can see that there was hardly any oil in this car. Went ahead and checked the filter as well. You can see how long it's been in there. The service indicator showed 5,000 miles overdue. And back in this era, these cars had a 13,000 mile interval. So we added 8.5 quarts. So it's essentially as if this engine was drained of oil. So we went ahead and put in a new filter and gave it an oil change. It's nice and happy, but let's get a look underneath. So if you look here, this car is absolutely hemorrhaging oil. These do have some pretty common oil leaks. You can see how long and how severely this one's been leaking. Oil filter housing, valve covers, is all just covered in oil. See, it's even blowing back here all the way to the transmission cross member. But looking at the rest of this car, it is in pretty decent shape. It has 176,000 miles. Got a little wetness on the rear diff there. It's Got good tires on it. The brakes should clean up. The car's been sitting for a while. Hopefully they'll clean up. Both our flex discs are in good shape. Transmission mount's not collapsed. All of our bushings are good. You can see these control arms were replaced not too long ago. There's your oil level sensor, which thankfully on this one was working. We were able to get an accurate level. But seeing that it had no oil in it, we were expecting maybe someone drained the oil and left the oil drain plug out, which on this one there's two of. You can see one there for the front sump, and then your main one is here in the rear. A lot of places forget to drain the front one, but this one just has such severe oil leaks over a period of time that all the oil had just about drained out of this engine. But we'll go ahead and fire it up and let you have a listen. So you can see here, engine fired up nicely. Runs quiet and smooth other than just a little bit of belt squeal. The belt's contaminated with oil. But who knows if they previously had this car running with hardly any oil in it, and it's still perfectly fine. Andy here, when he was still at the dealership, actually had one of these engines, a M113, not in a C55, but a variant of this engine. That the customer complaint was that the engine seized on the freeway. Andy, when he was still at the dealership, had a variant of this engine, the M113, come in with the complaint that the engine stalled. He went out to the car, fired it up, drove it right in, no problem. He said once he put it in the air, there was a big gaping hole in the oil pan. All the oil was out of this engine, and it sounded just like this one. He had no idea until he put it up in the air. Just goes to show you some of the resilience of this engine. These 203 chassis C-Class AMG models were pretty special. There was the C32 supercharged V6 model, and that was replaced with this C55. They're both pretty rare and special, and we think underappreciated. A nice update on the C55 was the introduction of the quad exhaust. So you get some nice interior appointments as well. You get the nice Napa soft grain leather. See, this one's still in pretty good shape for 176,000 miles. These are some of what we say are the best AMG cars to own. There's no active suspensions. They don't have any hydraulic roofs or anything like that. Just a regular car with a lot of power and big engine. And these cars actually handle surprisingly well. So they're one of our favorites from this era. So if one of you guys are looking for a nice reliable AMG car, check one of these out. So we're going to go ahead and get a quote together for this car, for this client, and all these different oil leaks and a couple other odds and ends that this one could use. Get this C55 back on the road for him and give him the good news that there was no big expensive repair involved in fixing this car. One other, I don't know if it was a shop or a buddy of theirs, had told him the engine was locked up. So he had the half mind that he was going to have to put an engine in this, but turns out it was just a relay in the wrong location. No cost repair, essentially. So Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and look forward to seeing you on the next one.